Krystal.Shardae here. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So today I'm going to talk about my delivery story, and I'm going to include some of the videos and clips of me actually having my baby as well. I know I told you all that I would go ahead and take you on the journey of pregnancy with me, but I definitely spoke out of turn. It was so much going on that I was unable to capture everything within my pregnancy. I was tired, and then I had complications in my pregnancy. I'll make a video talking about that. Also, I recorded like 3 or 4 videos that I never got to edit. Then I lent my laptop to somebody. So it's just a lot that I just was not able to produce the content. But I will go back and edit the videos that I've already recorded, and then I'll add them to my channel, although I've already had my baby. But I don't want to rant anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and go into my delivery story. So I had my baby on July the 24th on Tuesday at 9:01 p.m. I was about 38 weeks pregnant, so she came 2 weeks earlier than her due date. So I went for my 38-week checkup on that Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. It was me and my best friend and my child's father. We all went to the doctor, and he did a checkup where he checked me to see how many centimeters, if I dilated or anything. And at that time, I dilated 1 centimeter. So I came home, and they began to put her room together because I wasn't touching any of that stuff. From the baby shower, we just never got to put all the stuff together, like her bouncers and stuff. So they set the room up for me while I gave orders, and about 1 o'clock is when I began having contractions. So 1 o'clock that afternoon, I started having contractions. They were like really like mild cramps. They weren't too bad. I could just feel that they were contractions, just feel like period cramps. So that went on. So I labored at home all day until about 6:30 is when I just couldn't take it anymore. Like that's TMI, but I had the boo-boo diarrhea twice. And then I just started throwing up yellow stuff. So they were like, yeah, it's time. You about to have your baby. So I'm like, okay. So I just continued to have contractions or whatever.
She cussing you out. She waiting for you to come. That's when cussing you out. She clearly.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh my God. I'm gonna cry. Oh God. Oh. And like around 6:30, it's just like I was like, I can't take it no more. Like, take me to the hospital. They're like, no, we're not gonna take you to the hospital. You just want some medicine, yada yada. I'm like, no, I need to go to the hospital. Like, I cannot take this no more. Like, I need something. I need to go to the hospital. So my best friend and my mom and my little sister, they went to Ross. And so I called them, like, can y'all come get me? Because I need to go to the hospital. They're like, oh yeah, we at Ross, we on our way. They thinking I'm being dramatic. I'm a dramatic person overall, but at this time I was not being dramatic. But they just assumed that I was being dramatic. So they're like, yeah, we're on our way. Ross is literally 6 minutes up the road from my house. So like 15-20 minutes had passed, and I'm like, where y'all at? Y'all said y'all on your way. Y'all not here. Like, I really need to go to the hospital. They're like, oh yeah, we on our way. Me knowing them, they weren't on their way. So I grabbed my car keys and I went outside, and I was about to take myself to the hospital. My child's father came outside like, what you doing? They gonna take you to the hospital. Well, I'm like, well, they need to hurry up because I need to go to the hospital now. I need to go right now. So he was like, okay. So I was in my car, and I was backing out of the driveway. So I went and parked my car back in the driveway. My oldest sister, she came down with my child's father, and they took me to the hospital. The whole time I'm just in so much pain. Like, those contractions are a motherfucker. Like, excuse my language, but they are a mother. So I went to the hospital. They checked me, and I had already did the hospital tour, so I already knew everything what to do. I was already checked in and everything, so when I went to labor, all I had to do was, I was already registered, not checked in. I was already registered, so when I had my baby, all I had to do was give them my name, go in the room, sign off on whether I wanted epidural and all of that stuff or not. And I was good. So I went there, they triaged me. So they checked me, and she was like, at this point, I'm only 2 centimeters or whatever, so she's going to wait about 30 minutes. She's going to monitor me for 30 minutes, and then they'll just let me know what they decide to do. So it's like, in this Atlanta, in traffic, and they want to play. So it was like, I want to say like 7-ish, 7:15. And she came back in the room, and she was like, so, like, it was like probably like 7:15. And the nurse came back in the room, and she was like, we been monitoring your contractions and the baby. She was like, you're only 2 centimeters dilated, and your baby's heart rate is dropping after each contraction that you have, and the baby's heart rate should be dropping during the contraction. So we're not keeping you because you're in active labor, because you're not in active labor. You're not going to have your baby tonight. We're just going to monitor her because her heart rate is dropping after the contraction instead of during the contraction. So I was like, okay. I was a little scared, like, what's going on with my baby? So she was like, they told my family they can go home, that I'm not having a baby tonight, and I need to get some rest. So I'm just like, well, can you give me something so I can go to sleep, because I'm in so much pain I can't fall asleep on my own. So they're like, yeah, once we get you admitted, we'll go ahead and give you something in your IV. So I was like, okay, cool. So they put me on the IV, and then they put me into my room. I got into my room about 7:45, they put me in my room about 7:45, 7:30, 7:45, about 7:30, 7:45, they put me in my room. So at this time, I'm in the room or whatever, and so they gave me the drugs in my IV. So my mom, my best friend, and my little sister, and my niece, they left, and they went to do whatever it is they wanted to do, because they told them I wasn't having a baby. And my older sister and my child's father, they stayed with me or whatever. I was in so much pain. Like, those contractions hurt so bad. They hurt so bad. So then, then she came after she put me in the IV. She put the medicine in the IV, and I tried to go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. Like, that pain was so excruciating. I could not sleep. My body wouldn't even shut down. I was so high, but I could not go to sleep. So I'm just laying back and just bearing through the pain. And like 3 nurses just rush in, like 20 minutes later, like 3 nurses just rush in. So I'm like, okay, like they scared me. So I'm like, okay, I know they monitor me outside, so something wrong with my baby or whatever. So she was like, we got to check you. You just had 4 extensive contractions back to back, so we need to check you. So I was like, okay. So she told me to lay back, so I lay back, and they checked me, and then she was like, oh my gosh, you're 4 centimeters.
This is y'all in active labor right now. You are now 4 centimeters. Your little ass got there quick, because when we got here, you was only 2. Anything you want to say to her? Your mom is drugged up. We're going to edit this and make this a movie throughout the day. And your pops over there. Princess, this is all for you. On 1 to 10.
So I'm like, okay, can I get the epidural now? Like, I was happy, because I asked them earlier. They were like, no, you can't get the epidural too. You're 4 centimeters. So once you're 4 centimeters, then you can get the epidural. Now, let me tell y'all, before I continue, all my whole pregnancy, I was like, I'm not getting the epidural. I'm going to have my baby natural. I'm not doing any of this. Listen, honey, when them contractions hit me, can you get back here and do this right now, please, because I want it right now. That's just how I feel. Like, hey, stick me in my back, please. So she was like, yeah, I can get the epidural. So she called the anesthesiologist to let them know that, hey, she's going to go ahead and get the epidural now. And so the epidural was on the table, y'all. She came and put it on the table along with all the sterilized supplies and put it on the table. So then she left out for about 10 minutes and she came back. So she was like, okay, sit up so we could get you ready for the epidural. So I was like, okay. So as soon I was laying down, as soon as I sat up in the bed, my water broke. So I sat up and I just felt a like pop, and then like warm water, like warm liquid came out. So I was like, I think my water just broke. And she was like, you think your water broke? I was like, yeah, I think my water just broke. And so she was like, okay, well, stand up and let's see. So when I sat up, it was like a puddle of water in the bed, and then I sat up and it all fell on the floor. She was like, yep, your water definitely broke. So she was like, okay, so sit on the edge of the bed and bend over so that I can go ahead and get you ready so we can go ahead and give you the epidural now. So I was like, okay. So as soon as I went, so right now I'm standing up. Oh, I'm standing up because she wanted me standing to make sure that was my water that broke. So I'm standing up, and then I go to sit down to bend over the bed, and like I just feel like a lump. Like I'm like, I can't sit down. And she was like, you can't sit down? I was like, no, I'm sitting on my baby's head. She's like, oh no, you're not sitting on your baby's head. That's just the pressure. You're just gonna feel pressure because your water just broke. So she's coming. I was like, no, I'm sitting on my baby's head. I can't sit down. So I'm sitting, like, I'm literally trying to like sit down, but without like because I can literally feel it. Like it's like a lump. I can literally feel it. And she kept telling me, no, it's not her head. It's just you're just feeling pressure right now. So I just kept going back and forth with her, like, no, I'm sitting on her head. Like, no, I can't sit down. I'm sitting on her head. So she finally got irritated with me and was just like, well, just lay back and let me check you. So I was like, okay. So I laid back, and she was like, you're right. You're complete. You're right. You're complete. I know. She was like, I was like, huh? She was like, your baby's coming. You were right. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, my mom not here. Nobody here. Just my sister and my child's father. So my sister called my mama like, her water just broke. Y'all need to come on. And so she complete. She complete. So at this time, the doctor wasn't at the hospital. My doctor, that was the camera cut off, sorry. So at this point, the doctor was not there. The doctor that was supposed to deliver my baby was in surgery. So the on-call doctor for the hospital wasn't even at the hospital. So we had to wait for the doctor, and so he was taking so freaking long. So I'm like, okay, so I can't get the epidural now? She's like, no, cancel the epidural. You can't get the epidural. You can't get the epidural. You don't So I was like, okay, can I get the epidural now? She was like, no, you can't get the epidural. We had to cancel the epidural. So she called all the nurses, like in the panic. She called to the nurses stations and called everybody out to come and help her, because they didn't have anything for the baby to deliver the baby. They didn't have any supplies at all for me, because they did not expect me to have my baby. So she was like, I need everything for the baby. I don't have anything. I need all the baby equipment. You guys need to come in here right now. She's complete. So I was like, okay. So I'm scared. Like, my body was literally shaking. I was having hot flashes. I was hot and cold. Like, I'd be like, I'm hot. Give me some ice. I'm cold. Can I have a blanket? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it was just me being nervous or the labor. I don't know what it was, but I was having hot and cold flashes. I was just so scared. I could not stop shaking. And so after they call everybody get in, and she checked me, so I'm complete. So we just waiting, and every time I would have a contraction, I'm just sitting there with my legs wide open. Every time I had a contraction, like, the water would just fly out of my vagina. It just like shoo, shoo. So they're like, stop pushing. I'm like, I'm not pushing. Like, shit, I don't even know how to push. Like, I'm not pushing. That's the baby. She doing all of this. So they're like, okay. So it looks like the baby's coming. So if the doctor isn't here in time, we have the midwife here on call, and the midwife is going to deliver your baby for you. So I'm like, okay. I'm so scared. So I'm like, okay. So then we just sitting there going through, like, it seemed like I was waiting for the doctor forever. And so I'm like, the doctor's not here yet. Can you give me the epidural now? She's like, look, the epidural takes 15 minutes to do and 20 minutes to kick in. You don't have that kind of time. You don't have that kind of time. The worst pain that you're feeling is what you're feeling now. You've done this all by yourself to 10 centimeters. You can do this. Like, give me a pep talk. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Like, give me the drugs. So I was like, well, the stuff you just gave me, can you put that back in my IV? Can you give me some more of that? She's like, no, you can't have anything. You can do this. You've been doing so good so far. You never knew that this was your first baby because you've been handling this pain so good. So I'm like, bro, like, I ain't trying to hear all of that. Like, I'm in pain. Like, and so I'm just like, oh, Jesus. So then my mom, my sister, my best friend, my niece, they finally come back just in time. And then the doctor comes in. Here comes the doctor. Soon as the doctor comes in and put on his gloves, they're like, okay, well, I literally waited 30 minutes for the doctor to come with my baby just sitting in my vagina, just like right there, like, hello, world. And so she was just sitting there. And so I couldn't push. I just had to leave her head right there. I couldn't do anything. So the doctor came in, put on his gloves, and he was like, your next contraction, I want you to push. So I was like, okay. So my next contraction, my baby came out in one push. Like, and I'm about to load the clip so y'all can see her coming out in one push.
But I got here right at that.
No, it's okay.
It was never used. Come on, God. We got no kid, right?
You playing with our emotions.
I got to see my grandson. I gotta get a hammer.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm here.
He was napping probably. You were napping? He look at me. He just woke up.
No, I wasn't thinking it nap.
You just put the sheets over you. I told him that to sleep until 8 o'clock, but Ross said she was ready to come.
Push. There you go. Her head is right there.
Come on, Craig. You got it, baby.
Okay. Oh, no.
Yes, you can. Come on, Craig.
Yes, she got it.
Come on, you got it. You got it.
Oh, she's there. Come on, baby. Come on, you got it. You got it. Come on. Come on. Ooh, she's scared. Oh my gosh, she's here.
Some lighter cane, please.
Yes.
And here you are. You finally came after one push. This is the aftermath. Your pops and your mom and you.
And me?
This is for Rylan when she gets
Well, she might
older.
want to see her grandma.
She's gonna see her grandma all the time.
Correct.
It's your grandma's fault that you like this now.
One girl, code 44.
Rylan Rose.
Thanks, man. Too late.
Yeah, you got your 2 bottles. Oh, bottles.
No, you ain't got to name her Rylan Rose.
Yes.
You ain't tell her
Robin Pops.
congratulations, Ma.
Baby boy and baby girl.
Ashy face. Ashy face.
Nick, you called your auntie Jackie?
No, ma'am. Not yet.
You got to keep her in the loop.
Let him enjoy his moment real quick.
You hold on like you uncomfortable.
I am because I don't want nothing to happen.
Precious cargo.
Right.
She's very resilient. It's fine.
Relax your shoulders.
I'm trying.
You want to like,
Girl, did you play a possum? Right.
You gonna open your eyes all the way? So you want us to get out your face? Get up, Mama. Rylan. Hey, Mama. Hey, baby. Right.
Ron, you being crying. What baby open your eyes in the first time?
Y'all saw that? That was amazing, right? Like, she just shot out of there. But I don't like the fact that they just threw my baby on the table. Like, but it was the best experience ever. Like, I didn't even know that my baby was out. I didn't even know she was out. I just, her coming out didn't hurt. The only thing that hurt was those contractions. So, like, if you can do away with the contractions and I just push out a baby, oh, baby, we can do that all day. Let's have us a football team. You know, we can do this. But those contractions, oh, they are a mother. So I really only labored from 1 to about 8 hours. It really wasn't that bad. I had the easiest labor ever. And it was like a lady next to me, in the room next to me. She was already in labor. She was already pushing. And my baby came before her baby. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, like, you had your baby so quick. We didn't expect you to even have your baby tonight. And you literally went from 4 centimeters to 10 centimeters in 20 minutes. Like, that, I've never seen anything like that. Like, you had her so quick. So your next pregnancy, when you're in labor, you need to labor in the hospital, because your first baby is your longest labor and the hardest labor. And she was like, that was just too easy. So your next pregnancy, you're gonna have to labor in the hospital because your baby's gonna come even quicker. So the nurse that triaged me, she was like, and we were about to send you home. If we would have sent you home, you would have had your baby in the car. If I would have had my baby in the car, I would have been devastated. Like, because that would have been the worst experience ever. But that's my labor and delivery story. It was an amazing experience, and I will do it all over again. I am going to do it all over again, but I'm going to give my baby some time to grow up first, and then we're going to run the thing back. But yes, she was born 5 pounds, 12 ounces, and she's just, I love her. She's just amazing. I just love her. She's the love of my life. Like, I literally sit and just stare at her sleeping, and it's just, I just love her. Like, it's just amazing. I think every woman should experience that, because it is really an amazing experience. But bye for now. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.